Why don't we just jump into our discussion of Mark's text, which is chapter 19 of his new novel. Robert, do you have any initial comments?
Of course, Professor. I'd just like to say I thought this text was wrapped with intrigue. A very interesting premise that Mark continues to show us submission after submission.
Okay, Robert, is there anything that you could offer that's more helpful or constructive for Mark?
Oh, come on, Professor. Do you really think this snooty prick has anything useful to add?
Terry, you and I have talked about your personal text toward Robert.
Sorry, it's just hard to take seriously a guy who thought that writing a story from the perspective of an 18th century footstool was a good idea.
How many times do I have to repeat myself? It's an ottoman, you idiot.
An ottoman? You mean like a footstool?
No, like an ottoman.
What's the difference?
Okay, ottomans are more like cushiony. They're square.
Didn't we settle the whole ottoman versus footstool debate last week?
Yeah, but don't say anything. This is my favorite part of class.
Okay?
Google. You
yeah,
want Google.
I
You're
went
one
to
of those
Google.
guys that likes to
Footstools
Google,
are like
aren't you?
this. So yes, I love Google. Okay, it's very
Google's for idiots.
resourceful.
Don't you understand?
Google's for idiots.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You know
really?
what? I use Yahoo search. It's
You
way
use
better.
Yahoo search.
Yeah.
No,
It's terrible.
Does anyone have any other comments for Mark at this time?
Oh, yeah. I don't really like the name of the main character.
Oh, all right. I don't know why you've decided to take issue with the name this far into the text, but okay. Do you have any suggestions for Mark concerning a new name?
No.
Surprise, surprise.
Wait. I got a couple ideas. How about Jason or Claudia?
Claudia is a girl's name.
Hey, you asked for suggestions. I gave you suggestions.
All right. Does anyone else have any comments for Mark?
I think the new characters you introduced, the Duke and the Dauphin, are really great. I mean, the way they talk to each other when they're on the boat, especially when they're telling their backgrounds about... Did you think that was funny too?
Huh? Can I say something, Professor?
Yes.
Well, I thought setting this chapter on the Mississippi was a really smart choice. To me, it seemed to represent our current reliance on technology, with the raft symbolizing something like the Hubble telescope or indoor plumbing. I also like the Duke, as he metaphoricized... What, is that a word?
No.
Cool. He metaphoricized the distance between artists and their consumers, and how the creative process is dependent on a combination of outside influences you encounter in your everyday life, whether it be at the grocery store or in your storm cellar, and deep inner thoughts like, who's in charge of the internet? Or why do some people complain that a gallon of gas costs more than a gallon of milk? And the price disparity makes sense because milk is a renewable resource, and it should have lower transportation costs. I thought this text did a banging good job of getting that message across. Also, my uncle lives close to the Mississippi River, and this chapter reminded me of him. So I thought that was really cool.
All right. Does anyone else have any comments?
Yes, I have something to add.
About the racist language, I assume?
Yes. For some reason, this entire semester, Mark hasn't taken any of my suggestions. The diction is filthy. If this keeps up, I can't in good conscience continue reading this. It's so ridiculous that in this day and age, we're forced to read such horrid language. And from the perspective of a young boy, no less. And yes, I know you'll say it's just historically accurate, but quite frankly, I'm offended, and anyone else who isn't should be ashamed of themselves.
Yes!
Do you agree, Carlos?
What? Oh, yeah, maybe.
And what were your thoughts on this chapter, Carlos?
Mark's paper? Yeah, good plot, solid setting, nice characters. Yeah.
All right, then, did you take any time to write down your comments for Mark this time?
Obviously.
All right, does anyone else have any comments?
Actually, I thought this was, again, another great excerpt of Mark's novel. I've been really impressed with what he's put forward these past few months, especially how he's using the river as a symbol of freedom.
Yes. Yes, go on.
Well, the river represents freedom for the main characters. I also thought if Mark focused on Jim's point of view for this chapter, it would be really insightful and show a different side. As the further they go south, we see how the racism corrupts.
That's insightful.
If it was a rug and footstool talking to each other, I'm sure you could see how that's insightful.
The rug was originally in possession of Ivan the Terrible.
I still don't get it.
All right, fine. Does anyone else have any comments? Gerald. Well, okay then. So, Mark, are there any comments you'd like to address about all the feedback you're getting on your text for Huck Finn? Well, okay then. Why don't we just move on to our next piece, which is a new act in William's next play, Hamlet.